Are we alone in the universe? Is it possible that life exists somewhere on some other planet far from our own galaxy? The first step of finding life outside of Earth is to define what is required to create and maintain life as we know it. The common accepted elements required for life include energy, carbon, elements including nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and sodium, chemical energy, light, and liquid water. The rarest of these requirements is the presence of liquid water on a planet's surface, and thus limits the occurrence of habitable planets. A planet will only have liquid water on its surface if it is in the habitable zone of the solar system, which is also called the Goldilocks zone. The zone is far enough away from the sun so that the water doesn't boil away, but close enough that it is not all frozen. The current search for life takes all these elements into account, focusing efforts on planets around the same size as Earth within the habitable zone of their planetary system. Some scientists argue that planets covered in water may be some of the worst places to look for alien life, as planets covered in oceans could be starved of phosphorus, a nutrient that earthly life cannot thrive without. This is why much of the new research being done is related to what gases alien life may produce. New studies are working to understand how nature could produce conventional biosignature gases such as oxygen in the absence of living organisms, as well as thinking as expansively as possible about the types of biochemistry that could sustain life. At the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Cambridge, astronomer Sarah Seeger has begun to examine 14,000 compounds that are stable enough to exist in a planetary atmosphere. We could fool ourselves into thinking a lifeless planet has life, or we could be missing life because we don't really understand the context of what could be produced on another planet, says Sarah Rumeyer, an astronomer at the University of St. Andrews in the United Kingdom. NASA's Sellers Exoplanet Environments Collaboration, also known as SEEC, has developed new satellites and telescopes to observe possible habitable planets. According to SEEC, new technologies such as the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, also known as TESS, which was launched in 2018 to search for small planets that orbit stars on Earth's solar neighborhood, and the James Webb Telescope, which will be launched in 2021, will be able to probe planet atmospheres and look for biosignatures attributed to life on that planet. Lists of possibly habitable planets have been compiled over time, with these planets having fulfilled the requirements for supporting life. Recently, a planet named K2-18b, discovered in 2015, has also been discovered to have water vapor in its atmosphere. And in January 2020, the TESS telescope provided data and images to NASA that allowed them to determine that the new planet TOI 700d could also be habitable. These, among others, are added to the list of planets with the possibility of supporting life. It will take further developments in space exploration and analysis technology before exact conditions on these planets can be observed. It also remains a powerful and humbling realization that these habitable planets are determined by the requirements for life as we know and understand it. There remains the possibility that other life forms would have differences in backbone and form that we would not easily recognize, and they might inhabit a planet with different characteristics than humans require for life. The alien life we are searching for might be something entirely different than we expect. Maybe we are searching for life in the correct areas of the universe, or maybe we are overlooking life right under our noses. The search for life outside of Earth continues to go on, and with advancements in space biology and exploration, maybe one day we will find that we are not alone in the universe.